Hi, I'm Silas with Time Well Meant. Just wanted to give a quick disclaimer about this episode. There are topics involving incidents that happen with minors, as well as allegations of SA. If those are things that you are uncomfortable with, you might want to check out some of our other content. We've said it before that we're still trying to find our voice. Going forward, we're probably not going to make these types of stories our primary focus. However, that doesn't mean that we're not going to talk about the internet as a whole. Kirby says it at the end of the episode, and I'm going to go ahead and say it here. Think about what you put out into the world and try and make it a better place. And that's what we're going to try and do with our content going forward. Anyways, that's it for me. Appreciate you watching. Enjoy the episode. Hello. Welcome back to Time Well Meant, the podcast. Oh my, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Hold on. Getting a phone call somehow. Kirby.
Huh?
Oh my God.
Where's my phone?
They just hit the second tower.
Shut up. Was this the intro? Is this it?
Round of applause.
This is my formal resignation.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not the real one. No, unless you want.
No, this is it. We're recording, dude. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Welcome back to Time Well Meant.
Welcome back to Time Well Meant.
Fuck me. You. I don't know. We're a podcast or something. If you don't know, if this is your first time tuning in for whatever reason you decided to do that today, we like to talk about gaming. We like to talk about the goings-ons of the internet, and of course, we usually like to relate that all back to our most important topic, which is mental health. I am Silas, and I am joined today, as always, by the beautiful and wonderful. Well, okay, formerly beautiful and wonderful until he decided to bring something very blasphemous into the podcast today. Kirby, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, dude, and I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just here to enjoy your company, have a good chit chat, you know, give a few giggles out. I'm not doing anything else. Just chilling, dude.
Nothing out of the ordinary here. Nothing out of the ordinary here.
Nope.
No. What is that? There's a little like logo on your for those.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Go Cowboys!
Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Here we go.
I just figured we made it to the 4th episode. It was time for controversy.
There has been so much controversy within like the last, I don't know how many weeks, that now is the time that you want to stir it up outside of.
Yeah, I want to stir up like fun controversy, like, you know, go Birds, go Cowboys. I don't want to stir up other shit we'll get into later.
Jesus, yeah, and let me tell you, there's a lot to get into. I am telling you, every single time that we do this, I forget that there's 2 weeks of time that pass, and in those 2 weeks, so much happens.
Like 2 whole weeks worth of shit.
2 whole weeks worth of shit. But I mean, in this day and age, man, 2 weeks is so much, and it's constantly happening. Doesn't slow down. I've been just trying to decompress. I was today, like all of today, I've just been like listening to music. I haven't been doing my normal, like going through the rotations of Twitter, going through the rotations of, you know, YouTube, and, you know, because I just can't, man. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. But I do want to know, how have you been past couple weeks? Anything new? Anything changed?
Man, so yeah, actually it's that fun time of the summer for me where my son goes and hangs out with his grandparents for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
And my wife and I, the best way I can describe it is we go feral. We lose all sense of responsibility. Like, dishes are piling up, man. It just doesn't matter. We're gonna eat McDonald's anyways. It really brings into like a perspective for me how much having him around, and particularly during the school year, it like structures my whole life. But then summer comes, school's out, things get a little loose. Then he goes away for 2 weeks, and it's just. If I wasn't sitting here doing the podcast, I'd be sitting on the couch eating chips with my wife right now, guaranteed.
Hell yeah. You got someone to do it with there too.
But it's a fun little break for those 2 weeks.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it's really funny because I not much has changed with me. I've literally just been doing the same thing. There's the only thing is my parents have gone out of town. My dad went to Colorado. He goes every year, and I'm stuck at home with the dogs. Someone's got to take care of them, so that happens to be me.
But he's out there doing cool stuff though. You told me, what's he doing?
he goes to this it's like a wolf sanctuary. I'm not exactly sure. He told me the name of the town. I'm not about to look it up. But it's this town. It's a small town in Colorado, and it's a wolf sanctuary. This is just kind of like off the top of my head what I know about it. That they go to every single year. I don't know why they have the opportunity to go other places, but they love that place so much. It's him, my stepmom, and then my little sister. They go up there every year and have been for a number of years. And each year it's been different. This has been the calmest year for me because, like I said, I have to watch the dogs. To give a little context, my dad has done corgi rescue for a number of years. He only just recently got out of it about 2 years ago, but we still have some of the residual rescues that we've adopted.
The failed rescues.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is some of these dogs that we get, man, like they're just so messed up that nobody wants them. And it's like, rather than put them down, my dad's too much of an animal lover to even think about that, and for that to even be an option.
No, that's so cool.
He adopts them. He adopts them himself. Now, it's so cool. And then all of a sudden, you get a whole bunch of dogs.
It's cool for him because he loves it and makes him happy. But
it's true. It's true.
I find it kind of extra interesting because when I was a kid, man, I was obsessed with wolves, dude. Wolves were my thing. So when you told me he was at a wolf sanctuary, I was like, that's so cool, dude. When I was like, I want to say 6 or 7, I went to this like a wolf rescue place. There's like a picture of me with like a wolf in my face, and I'm holding like a dog bone in my mouth.
Oh my God. This is a live wolf?
Yeah, dude. Because they were like in captivity and friendly. You could pet them and shit. They were cool.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
When I was 7, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. I'll find the pic, dude. I'll find it.
That's cool. That kind of reminds me of I used to go to GWs. You know what that? I don't know if we've had this conversation before. Actually, do you know the Tiger King?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
So the Tiger King owned a rescue in Oklahoma, and it was called GWs, and it was tigers. He had a grizzly bear at one point. He had lions.
You're telling me you went to the Tiger King Ranch?
Yes. Oh yeah. My dad met him.
Did you see Joe?
No, I did not. My dad did. My dad met him the one time that he was there, because he wasn't there. Like the way that the documentary portrays it is that he was there like every day. He was not. We went multiple times, sometimes multiple times a year. I never once saw him, and he was only there the one time that my dad went. And yeah, it's one of those things that like.
What did your dad like walk away and say about Joe Exotic?
He's like, he seemed like a, kind of a weird guy, but like, it's not like their interaction was anything beyond like, hey, how's it going? And then like moved on. But I mean, but
he's like walked away and be like, that guy's going to go do some fucked up shit in the future.
But
I can feel it.
He stood out in such a way that was like, oh, wow. Like that guy's kind of, you could just tell, I guess. I don't know.
For sure. I mean, have you seen the way he dresses? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
his
it's kind of kooky,
his whole persona.
His whole persona. I mean, and I think that if he hadn't gotten into the trouble that he had, I mean, the thing about it is his operation was just kind of wacky, and the whole, I mean, this is a whole other episode that we could do for the podcast talking about the world of exotic animals.
Tiger King deep dive.
No, God, we have a deep dive coming. For
I
those
guess we
of you
could
who don't know,
we'll just turn on the Netflix doc and watch it together.
Yeah,
call it an episode.
Holy shit! Well, the next episode that we're doing, episode 5, which weirdly enough, episode 5 is going to get recorded next week because the week after is QuakeCon.
QuakeCon.
So when y'all are
nobody knows that though. It's movie magic.
Yeah, movie magic. Yeah, things are gonna happen. It's gonna be great. Anyways, but so we are doing, or Kirby's gonna do a deep dive. Very special, very exciting. Tune in because it's gonna be a lot of fun. 2 weeks from the day that this episode comes out.
It's gonna be like 3 weeks from this Saturday, yeah? Right?
It should be 2 weeks. 2 weeks from this Saturday.
Whatever, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, a lot of fun. Gonna be cool. Anyway, so so I went to GW's a lot, and so that was what made me think of that. And the funny thing is I didn't even know about the guy Joe Exotic until I had watched the documentary and was like, holy shit!
You saw the documentary and you were like, whoa, I was there. I pet that tiger.
I didn't pet the tiger. God no. But the thing about it was, I mean, you were close to the tigers. Like where. I mean, like if you literally stick your hand out in front of you, that's how far away you were from those tigers. It was crazy. And it was a very surreal experience in general, just kind of looking back on it. But it's one of those things that I'm extremely glad that I got the opportunity to go because it was a lot of fun, man. Like looking back, it's like, it's kind of sad that they're, the kind of conditions that they were in. And
for sure. But as a kid, you're just
you're
so
like,
cool.
oh, this is the sickest shit ever. And it was like it became a tradition that's, something really special that me and my dad got to share. especially, you know, when we were going through real hard times. It was just one of those things that like, oh, this is just so cool. I love. We're gonna go to GW's.
Get out of town.
You know,
Go hang out
get
with
out
Joe
of town.
Exotic.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. But anyways, we got a lot to talk about today, man. It has been a wild fucking 2 weeks, and I want to start with what happened with Tenacious D. And the reason that I want to start with that is because I want to be forward in addressing the fact that on this podcast, we're going to try and stay as politically neutral as possible. We're going to try and obviously we're going to put forward our views. We're going to say what we think and what we believe. But we're going to try and stay at least, maybe not apolitical, but we are going to try and keep politics out of the conversation as much as possible. That's not always going to be the case.
A good point here is that we probably wouldn't even bring this up just because of the political aspect, but we've both been huge Tenacious D fans for years and years and years.
Exactly. We are gigantic. I feel like that was when we first met. That was one of the first things that we bonded over was our shared love.
We
for
just
Tenacious
started
D.
doing a duet of "Fuck Her Gently."
Exactly. For those of you who don't know, that's a song. But it's I remember it like and then even the first year that I went to QuakeCon and we were just fucking singing at the top of our lungs in the middle of the BYOC like that sort of thing that it built a connection and that's happened to me with multiple people. There's a guy that I used to work with who's a huge Tenacious D fan. That's how we connected. When I reconnected with my brother after I hadn't known that he even existed for 14 years, that's how we connected was through our shared love of Tenacious D. And so it's been a very impactful thing to watch, you know, people that we look up to so much. And this is almost like, you know, how some people reacted to the Dr. Disrespect thing, where it's like you watch someone that you love so much go through something, and whether you decide to stand with them or not is kind of up to you at the end of the day. I think obviously what Doc did compared to what Tenacious D did, much different. Much different. What Doc did, I think, is unforgivable.
Not even similar.
What Tenacious D, well, it was kind of like, I'm trying to relate it to, like, you know, we love the Tenacious D, okay? Sorry.
The D brings people together, and I have always held the view that Jack Black is a goddamned national treasure, and he will be one of the first actors in my life that when he passes away, because we all will one day, that is going to absolutely break my heart. You know, as we've grown up, we hear some actors pass away from like maybe movies and times before us a little bit, and those don't hit you as hard. It's like, you know, that's sad, of course, you know, respect their legacy, their work, whatever, but Jack Black, man, so much. Tenacious D's.
Yeah. So anyway, for those of you who don't know, Jack and Kyle, who is Jack Black, Kyle Gass, they're the two members of Tenacious D, the two main members of Tenacious D, were in Australia. They were on tour. They, I guess they had a world tour. I'm not 100% sure on the details. And Kyle, it was his birthday. And so they sung him happy birthday. They wished him happy birthday. And then they put the mic up to him and said, hey, what do you wish for? And he said, don't miss Trump next time. For those of you who don't know.
He said, next time, don't miss.
Next time, don't miss. Sorry.
Which was, of course, a reference to the attempted assassination of Donald Trump.
Yes. And it was one of those things that it immediately sparked backlash. There were people on both sides of the political spectrum kind of going wild with this. There were people who were, it didn't matter, you know, if what side of the political spectrum they were on. They were saying any call to violence is a bad thing. I mean, the backlash was insane. They immediately canceled their tour. They got dropped by their insurance company that was covering the tour. Jack and Kyle are currently kind of in the airs. They're not, you know, posting anything. They're not doing anything on social media. Both of them have released statements and apologies. Kyle got released from his talent agency. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal over a comment. And that to me is just
the band who wrote a song about doing cock push-ups.
Exactly. This is the band who literally said the government totally sucks.
The government totally sucks.
They totally suck, you motherfucker.
You motherfucker.
But it's one of those things that regardless of where you stand, here's what I will say. I do think that promoting any sort of political violence is outright wrong. I think that pretty much everyone can, promoting violence in general, regardless of what side you're on, is wrong. Okay? I think that the comment was inappropriate. However, I think that a lot of the backlash that they're receiving is really it seems a bit much. It seems like people are, and I get that this is a big deal, and it was very fresh. From what I understand, the way that the timing worked is it was basically within like a 12-hour period this comment was made. So if it had happened like a week later or 2 weeks later, I feel like maybe there would have been a little bit. And I don't know. I don't know what to say. I will say that I think that I definitely think that, your actions have consequences. I think that you should have the ability to say whatever you want, but understand that whatever you do say, your actions do have consequences no matter what. But I don't know. There's something inside me that's like, man, this just feels like a lot for what was said. What was meant as a lighthearted joke, obviously in poor taste, still just, I don't know. I might be alone in that. I might be alone in thinking that it was a bit of a heavy treatment. I don't know. What do you think?
Uh, there's so many things to be said, and I really think your viewpoint on this is going to be determined by, or at least heavily influenced by, your opinion on politics at this time. There's things to be said about different people, but ultimately, I mean, what you said is really kind of the beginning and the end of it all. Don't wish death upon somebody. It's not helpful, especially when you're in a position like that where you have, millions of fans who hear you and look up to you. But I completely agree with you. It very poor taste, very poor timing. Maybe had he just said that the next week on tour, we wouldn't be here or even discussing it right now. But one of the other kind of interesting things that I came across in reading the debates over this was a lot of this had to, or potentially had to, come from Jack Black because he's so much more at a high point in his career right now. With the Mario movie, so many other things that Tenacious D, even though it's kind of what kicked him off a little bit.
I mean, the Kung Fu Panda series alone has
yeah,
put a huge
so maybe some of
increase
those
on his
jokes
career.
of sucking on toes or whatever in the Tenacious D lyrics don't fly as much as they do now.
Yeah,
as much as they did then.
And definitely a different time, different era, and it's so much louder now than it was before. There's things I think that a couple of different things that we're going to talk about later on in the podcast kind of echo that same sort of sentiment, and I feel like it's going to end up being the theme for this podcast. Is that we live in a much different time now. We live in a much more the moment that you make a mistake, you're going to pay the consequences for it. We live in an era of instant gratification, but also instant consequences. You know what I mean? People are quick to jump to assumptions. They're quick to pounce on people. And it's scary, but at the same time, in some cases, it almost needs to happen. Again, I think that the reaction to it was definitely swift, and it was really aggressive. And man, it was just it's really hard to see a band that I literally have grown up on. Both of us have grown up on.
Yeah.
Go through this
because we are man.
Pick of Destiny, dude. We'll stop talking about that, but I will tell this little story. The first time I watched Pick of Destiny was with my mother.
No way.
Yes way.
Cool.
I had watched School of Rock.
Just a little baby sass,
dude. I was so young. To tell you how young I was, I watched it on like pay-per-view. That's how this was years and years ago.
Dude.
Yeah. But I'd watched both my mom and my dad, I think at that point, had seen School of Rock. Huge fans. We love that movie. And so when I saw Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny and I saw Jack Black, I was like, dude, Mom, let's watch this because this seems cool, right?
Yeah, it's Jack Black.
And she was like, yeah, sure, I guess. It's Jack Black. Like, he's School of Rock. Everything's cool. Everything's kosher. We put it on. And let me tell you, I was watching, how parents have the best and worst timing?
Oh my God. That is the most funny movie for that to happen because the opening with the Christian house and everything's nice and normal. And then he just starts singing a Dio.
But here's the thing is that she basically left me alone to watch this movie and didn't come in until the moment. And I wish I could fucking make this up. No, she came in right as the cock push-up scene was happening. When he's disarming the alarm, and she goes, "Oh my God!" Right? Like she was kind of in and out of there, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that." Because she had heard them. Like obviously, she heard them. She wasn't but she was around. She just wasn't watching it as we weren't like sitting down to watch it together. I wanted to watch it, so she let me watch it. But yeah, my poor mom.
Amazing.
And it was kind of one of those things where it's like, well, we already,
We're already like
already
2/3
here.
of the movie through
Yeah.
that point, you know.
And then there's the fight with the devil, and I mean, if you've seen the Pick of Destiny, you know what I'm talking about. It's a pretty
crude, wonderful humor.
Yes, it is an extremely crude movie. But God, that was what a time. Again, so much has happened. I wanted to touch base too. There are two other really big stories, at least within the content creation world, that have happened. It feels like every month of this year we've had someone else come out. We've had people
Talking to
that
kids.
get allegations brought up against them, and it always involves kids. Allegedly, everything's alleged here. We don't know. The thing
Every
that is
single thing said on this show is alleged.
every single thing. The Jack Black cow guy said that was pretty. You can't really deny that. But again, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, they were in Australia. But so there's a content creator. Do you know who Cody Ko is?
I've heard the name.
So Cody Ko is he blew up on Vine back when Vine was a thing many years ago. And then he made a very successful transition into YouTube and kind of became YouTube's golden boy. That's what I keep hearing people call him. And that is the truth. Him and one of his good friends, Noel Miller, they've created kind of a bit of an empire together. They've had a very successful music career, very successful podcast. They both individually have very successful YouTube channels. They do a lot of reactionary and commentary style videos. Recently, in the last year, Cody got married, had a baby. I mean, the guy is like the quintessential like everyman. You know what I mean? Like not everyman. He's like the quintessential golden boy. You know what I mean? He's the he's the star quarterback of YouTube at this point. You know what I mean? But just like
when
every
the
star
build-up
quarterback.
takes this long, I just know the fall is gonna be.
So there is another content creator who is very important to this story named Tana Mojo. Have you ever heard that name before?
Never heard that name.
Okay. Tana Mojo is an extremely controversial character. She was at one point, I believe, married to Jake Paul for all of a day. She got
hot?
into it. Yeah, I mean, she's had a lot of plastic surgery done, but she's all right.
Okay. That's important to the story. Go on.
She has built her career up over many years in sort of the same span that Cody Ko did. Of course, she didn't really do much Vine, but she started on YouTube doing Storytime YouTube back when that was a really big thing. And her career has kind of it's had, its ups and downs. She had a really big run-in with this guy named iDubbbz. iDubbbz is another content creator who used to make these things called content cops. One got made on Tana, and it, put a big dent in her career. And because of the fact that she was basically exposed for lying and sort of fabricating and fluffing up a lot of the stories that she would tell in her story time. A lot of the times just over dramatizing, all of these different things. And so she's been doing she did for a while a live tour. And during that live tour, she started telling, or people would, kind of do Q&As. One of the Q&As was, what's the smallest penis you've ever been with? And the name that she said was Cody Ko, right? Now, at that point, enough damage has been done. I feel like enough damage has been done already. The truly damning part was she said, it's okay, I can say that I was 17 at the time. Now, we've had this conversation. Their age of consent is different in every state. In the two states that this possibly could have happened, which is California and Florida, age of consent is 18. So already a crime was committed.
No.
Yes.
So wait, he didn't even. Well.
So, and to give you a bit more context, the way that this has become a really big issue is the fact that Cody was already on his way up. He was already pretty big. He had a shitload of Vine success and had already transitioned into being a very successful YouTube creator. Tana was still fairly small. Tana was still really starting out her career. Again, 17 at the time, really didn't have a lot of presence on the internet that was notable. She was still on her rise. So you have this huge power imbalance of, massive older. The other thing is that he was 25 at the time. 25 and 17. There you go. It was a big, but the big thing here too, and this is what I kind of take the most problem with is the fact that there was such a big power imbalance between them. Where again, he had the audience, he had this big following, and on top of that, she didn't. She didn't have nearly the amount of power. Now, where this story gets a bit muddy is the fact that a lot of people don't like Tana. And the only person that has been able to really back her story is another creator named Gabby Hanna, who a lot of people don't fucking like, which sucks because for a long time, this got swept under the rug. I mean, there was a lot of people who were just like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. It's Tana. She lies all the time. She embellishes all the time. She's been proven to do this. And even still, you know, there's people who have finally only within like I said, the last week or so that have really started to put traction behind this story. And it's come out since then that this was not the only 17-year-old that Cody Ko was involved with. And then in fact, well, this is all again alleged and it's not confirmed, but there was another girl, a 17-year-old high schooler. I don't know her name, but she was also involved, possibly dating him around this time. Again, this is all alleged. This is all speculation.
Okay. All right. Cody Ko, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go on Twitter. You're going to tweet and just admit that you did it. That way you can never deny it and we can all make fun of you.
Yeah. See?
The Dr. Disrespect way.
See? And do you want to know what he hasn't done?
What?
Said a goddamn word.
He
hadn't said shit.
From a legal perspective, that's probably the smartest thing to do. Dr. Disrespect took the dumbest route.
Yes. Well, I mean, he took the most honorable route at the same time, weirdly enough, where he actually admitted to it. It's like, because the thing about it is a lot of these creators come out here, they deny.
I guess that's honestly fair. Wow, they like a piece of shit for saying that.
I know. That's fucked up that's how that is.
Oh.
But here's the thing, compared to Cody Ko, Cody hasn't said shit. He hasn't admitted to anything.
I mean, what do you do? Oh, God, man. Just imagining you're just living your best life with your wife and kid. Things are on the up and up. And then some chick from years ago says, you got a small dick. And I was 17 when I saw it. I'm like, fuck. What else could go wrong today?
Well, and again, I mean, he has been basically super ignoring this. And in fact, he actually... a few days ago was recorded live. He was doing it. So one of the other ventures that he's been pursuing is DJing. And what was he doing a couple days ago? He was DJing. And
a 17-year-old girl's birthday party.
Oh shit. No, it wasn't a 17-year-old's birthday party. But it was definitely one of those things where it's like, holy shit, it's nonstop, man. It just kind of blows me away. I don't know how, I don't know how this keeps happening. I don't know how we have so many, and this is not the only one. This is not the last one that we're going to talk about, which is the craziest part. This keeps happening. This keeps happening where these people who have these major influences, like, just decide to fucking throw it all away.
You seen that episode of South Park with like Tiger Woods and his cheating on his wife situation?
Mm-hmm.
And it basically just all boils down to once you get rich, you become a sex addict. Like that was kind of the gist of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just, man, every time you tell me these things, I just kind of rack my brain like, why? But I guess, I mean, there has to be something that goes on either inside of that person, or there is something going on inside of that person before they get on this path. They start gaining this traction. They start getting attention, popularity, some money, notoriety. And then I guess you just got to pull your dick out. I don't know. I hope our podcast stays small forever, dude.
Dude, let me tell you, I don't know I have been so like, I mean, here's the thing. The one thing that I can say with confidence, neither of us have ever tried to fuck a fucking child, okay?
Nope.
Neither of us have ever...
I'm not going to pull my dick out.
Not going to pull our dicks out. Not going to... We don't have any fucking weird DMs with minors, okay? I can say that with confidence, okay? And it just... Oh, God. And don't get me wrong. I said this before. Oh, shit. Fuck.
I'm so sorry.
I probably shouldn't have said it like that.
No, you just sparked a thought, and I need to share this right now.
Go for it.
We had to install a monitoring thing on my son's phone because we caught him like texting some inappropriate words, And one of the texts that came on the monitoring app was some girl saying, I want to hear your voice. And he responded with, dang, sucks to be you. Like, that's how you need to curb these kids. My son is only 11. He's already curbing minors.
Yeah. Honestly.
Take it from him.
Take it from him. The only interactions that you should be having are no thanks, especially once it gets to that point of like you should understand there's a line of inappropriateness, right? It's one thing, you know, we play video games. That's kind of like a big aspect of our podcast, okay? We play a shitload of video games. And of course, if you're playing, you know, multiplayer games, you're playing shooters, you're playing whatever you're playing, MMOs, whatever, you're going to run into people who are minors. You're going to run into people who are underage. And the thing you don't want to do is be like, hey, what's going on? You know, what are you doing? Don't do that. If you cross paths, you'd be like, fuck you, kid, you just got shit on. No, I'm just kidding. You know, maybe not that. Maybe not even that. I don't know.
Just
maybe
tell
just
them it's
mute.
past
I
their
don't know.
bedtime.
Yeah.
And
Kid,
you're
what
gonna
the
go
fuck are you
them
doing
up.
up late, kid? Get out of here. Quit kicking my ass in Rocket League. This is bullshit.
You're going to fail your math test tomorrow.
Yeah, idiot. But that, you know, that's as far as it should go. Again, I'll refer back to Mutahar. I think said it best in terms of, you know, he's a pretty large creator, and when he has fans who reach out who are minors, the only time that he'll respond is if they want to inquire about the field that he's a professional in. Beyond that, which is with cybersecurity. So once he, you know, if it's something like that, yeah, he provides guidance. He'll provide, you know, a little bit of resources, and that's as far as it goes, from my understanding. He doesn't, you know, the moment that it turns inappropriate, boom, block, get the fuck away from me, okay? Which is how it should be, you know.
I'm sitting here thinking that, like, if somebody was to message me and be like, "Hey, a fan of the show," I would feel a little bit obligated. Just be like, "Cool, thank you. You know, glad you enjoy it." Something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
But almost anything past that, I mean, you just get into murky water.
Absolutely.
You get in a
And that's
parasocial. You don't know who you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
That's one of the things that.
Anyways, get in my DMs.
Shut the fuck up. That's one of the things that. So for those of you who don't know, I used to stream on Twitch a lot. I don't anymore.
It's huge.
I wasn't that big, but I did have, you know, a decent amount of people come through, and during that time, I learned very quickly you need to be very careful about who you're talking to and about who you're interacting with, because there are some weird fucking people online, and I'm not talking about minors. I'm talking about like just people in general, who would, you know, just get way too friendly way too quickly. Again, there's a lot of people out there who are just kind of like, I guess they immediately think that they're your friend, just because they've watched you for, you know, an hour or so.
I mean, it's easy if you watch somebody, if you watch a Twitch stream for just a few hours, depending on how talkative the person is, it's easy to get a good sense of their personality. And you know, there's streamers out there I watch, like, dude, I'd get a beer with Jesse Kazam.
Hell
Dude,
yeah.
imagine getting a beer with Sam, General Sam.
Dude,
Dude,
I would love that.
He would shit on our show the whole time.
Fuck yeah, he would.
Hilarious.
Ah, so good.
You little dumbasses.
Yeah, right. Fucking idiots. But I agree with that. I think there are people who I've interacted with, and don't get me wrong, I've made friends out of viewers, right? Good friend of mine, who I hadn't talked to in many years. I reached out to him again, probably a month or so ago, and he was on it. He's got a fiance now, and like, it's crazy. Like, people move through life and interact with other people in different ways, and especially with the internet, you connect so quickly and sometimes very deeply. I've made very good friendships, very long-lasting friendships with people that I've met over the internet. Most of my friends I've connected with through the internet. So it's a very powerful and very good tool, but at the same time, you have to be responsible with it, especially once you move from being, you know, a shit-heel kid into an adult. That's when a lot more of that, you know, it's not just paying bills. It's not just, you know, there's more responsibility that you need to take.
Uncle Ben.
And
Ben
it's something
told us
that you'll learn. So
great power comes great responsibility, and that internet is a powerful thing.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right. So
A lot of Spider-Man references come up in my life recently. I don't know why that is, but question for another day.
Have you played any of the Spider-Man games?
The remastered ones on the PlayStation 4 or 5?
Yeah.
No, I've not. Oh yeah, they came to PC. No, I remember we had a little LAN party, and you were playing it there. You were showing me. It did look fun.
It's a lot of fun. I played.
I never get through a single player game. I never get through a single player game.
Dude, you've been playing fucking Snow Runners or whatever single player, haven't
SnowRunner
you?
is sick, dude. It's multiplayer, man. Every time I get stuck in the mud, my buddy Tyler hops in my game and just pops me out of the mud, and then I keep trucking.
Damn.
Dude,
What
I
a
can't
life to
explain it.
live.
The game is like slow and monotonous, but it's like relaxing, and there's like a little bit of a puzzle element to it when you get stuck. It's complete, man.
No. I'm
Come
not
on.
gonna fucking do it. No. You've asked me a number of times. You get SnowRunner? No, I don't, and I still don't have it, and I'm not gonna have it tomorrow when you ask me again
You might.
because I don't wanna. I don't wanna play it. I don't want to drive around in a truck. Not right now, at least. Maybe later.
We
Who
were trying
knows?
to we were trying to hook up my buddy's Simrig wheel to it, and it's totally possible, but you were gonna have to bind so much shit.
Yeah, fuck that.
We were
That's
gonna truck, dude, with the wheel.
yeah. That was the thing about when I set up playing Star Citizen and setting up the HOTAS with all the fucking different keybinds. Like, oh my god, there's so much shit to do. I don't want. Let me just get in and fly the goddamn ship and whatever.
Dude, you know you don't want to get me started talking about the HOTAS.
I know. We can save if you want to, go on about Elite Dangerous. But it's funny because No
Can
Man's
we
Sky
cut this
just
short? I'm gonna
released
go play
a
Elite
video.
Dangerous.
No, Jesus. Um, we've got too much. We've got too much horrible shit to talk about.
Yeah. And Elite Dangerous sounds more fun than talking
That's
to
true.
kids.
True. God, speaking of talking to kids, let's get into the next one.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Who else did it?
So this is the one
Allegedly.
that everything's alleged. This is the one that I wanted to talk about. That I want to talk about. Well, yeah, very briefly. This one actually does not involve kids. Actually, I was going to talk
Oh.
about the big one. I'm going to save the big one for last. We're going to talk about this one really
Uplifting
quickly.
story.
It's not. It's the opposite. Do you know who Melody Martinez is?
Isn't that a musical artist?
Huge pop star.
Yeah.
Pop star.
Hey.
And I want to just briefly. This just goes into this power dynamic that we keep seeing over and over again. There were allegations brought up against her that her ex-partner. And this is the thing about it is this is what's crazy. I did some research on this today. So many years ago, her and her ex-partner were in a bit of a long distance relationship, and there was one particular night that they got together. Some things happened, and there was no consent. Put the rest of the cards together. Now, the issue is that when the Me Too movement was happening, right about 2020, I guess, when everyone really started coming out, you had people like Louis C.K. who had allegations brought up against him. You had people like I was about to say Jeffrey Epstein, Weinstein, the Weinstein guy. Whenever allegations were coming out, a lot of these allegations were coming out, and a lot of victims were coming out and having the courage to come and speak. Well, one of them was Melanie Martinez's ex-partner, and now when that happened, her fandom went nuts, and they destroyed her. They ruined her life. Basically, they hacked into basically every account that she had, and I'm talking about emails, all of her social medias. She was saying that the only thing that they didn't get into was her bank account, but beyond that, they had gotten within all of her life. And at the time, she was a small musician, so she was an artist herself, and she had gotten a bit of a following, but a lot of that was just a hate following that would basically tell her to, don't wake up tomorrow in a lighter term.
All because of this?
I'm sorry?
Is that all because of this event?
All because she came out and talked and told her story. Years have gone by, and
Jesus.
the timeline is for me is a little bit confusing. I don't know exactly because I didn't research it too deeply. I just kind of wanted to bring it up and include it in the big lump of shit that we got to talk about. The thing about it is that Melanie Martinez admitted to it. She openly said, I thought that it was okay. I thought that, there was consent, but I was clearly wrong and there wasn't. And, she didn't apologize so much, but she did, make a statement. The thing about it is she went back on that statement and she said, no, actually, that's all bullshit. The thing about it is that while her partner was coming out with evidence, she started to slip up a little bit. And by slip up, I mean she started having, I think there was an interview where there were multiple images of some of the evidence that she was going to show There were instances where she had gotten dates wrong within the timeline, which, I mean, it happens to everyone. But the thing about it is that Melanie Martinez's fan base pounced on that and used it as ammunition to discredit her. And it wasn't until just recently that these allegations have resurfaced. And I mean, like within the past couple of weeks, that people are starting to, really remember that this happened, because it's been a couple of years now, to my knowledge. And it just surprises me. It's really sucks that if this girl is telling the truth, that Melanie was this, or took advantage of her in this way, it just really sucks that, this girl has had her fucking life destroyed, and there's no going back. Like, there's no, she will forever be known as, and the thing that is, apparently Melanie like made a bit of a like light diss track being like, oh, you made all of this up for fame and you're full of shit. And that sort of shit just doesn't sit right with me. It's one of those things that it's definitely more of a she said type of situation. But at the same time, if what she says is to be believed, it is very scary to think that such an incredible fan base can pounce on that one individual so quickly.
So my thought here, I guess there's just so many variables in everything. It's hard to really make any type of statement. It does, if that's true, if that happened, what is a possible good resolution that could come out of this? My hope was when you had said that, well, Melanie admitted to it at first, I almost thought maybe we'd have a happy ending here. She'd be like, I thought there was consent. I'm sorry if I harmed you, something like that, But to just not say sorry, then to go back on and be like, nah, you're full of shit. But then if there is evidence of it being true,
yeah,
it's just...
this is one of those situations that's very
complex.
muddy. Yeah, very muddy. There's a lot of details that are here and there. Not everything, lines up on either side. But still, the reason I wanted to bring it up again is I feel like the theme of the podcast today is to discuss power dynamics and to discuss what it means to have a platform and to have that responsibility and understand that you have that power. You have that power over a person. And
so was there some sort of call to action when these allegations first came out that caused Melanie's fan base to jump on this woman or her socials or whatever?
I think once there wasn't necessarily a call to action, but once she came out with her own allegations, a lot of people, you have to understand, it's a pretty rabid fan base. They vehemently love Melanie Martinez, and there are still people to this day trying to discredit this person, right?
Does she have a song called, it's like Crying Like a Baby?
Cry Baby, yeah.
Cry Baby, okay.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Listen,
I don't know pop music.
Yeah, I've listened to a couple. My girlfriend likes Melanie Martinez, and there's a lot of people that love this woman and support her, and it's just scary to think about the fact that she has the power to go back on her word like that, to be like, you know what, no, I didn't take advantage of you, and it's, you're just hungry for clout. You just want to be, you just want the fame.
I'm just gonna give you a light teaser here. I think you're really gonna enjoy next week's story.
Yeah.
Dude, think about it from both sides. Like, from her side, from Melanie's side, it sucks. The way I envision it, and I could be completely off base, is they were together, they were a couple, so yes. Whatever was going on, Melanie thought was cool. Mm-hmm. And then I assume they're together for a while, break up, and then after, I don't know how much time passes, and then the allegations came out, or was it like, she did this to me last night?
No, I don't understand.
Yeah.
That's again, this is where I did some light research, so I don't know the specifics on that. I don't know that, this is why I'm saying, like, I don't know the timeline, whether they were together for a period after that, or if this was like the last time that they saw each other. That's, again, it's why I was saying that this is a pretty muddy situation. It's
for some reason my mind is like trying to figure out where this could have been cut off and had a happy resolution, and it's definitely past that point now. It's somebody's reputation somewhere is tarnished, and somebody is going to be hated forever.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where you have to be I guess the lesson that you learn from this is consent is extremely important, right? Um, you know, you have to be, and there's always these talks about, enthusiastic consent. I think a lot
Oh,
of, yeah, a
yeah.
lot of things boil down to knowing your partner, knowing their body language, knowing, and respecting their boundaries. If your partner says no, that's period. That's the end of it.
That that
So
is
that's the
period,
cutoff.
but I will say there's something to be said about if you're the type of person who's having like one night stands.
Mm,
It might be harder, you know. I feel like I would not be able to, or I would have a harder time gauging how
exactly.
somebody's
Well,
truly feeling in a moment, an intimate moment like that. Like how are they truly feeling, especially when you just met a person. Sometimes you hide things, or you lie a little bit, whatever, to impress.
mhm. Yeah,
Versus my wife, obviously, I could tell if she was uncomfortable at any time, pretty much.
yeah. And I think with that, that's where you start to look for that enthusiastic consent. That's where you start going, okay, I mean, and it sounds cringe as fuck to be like, are you comfortable with this? Are you okay with that? But I mean,
Yeah.
in some cases, that's what you got to do. And listen, I feel like, it gets muddied too when you start thinking about, well, you put drugs and alcohol involved with that. If you're at a party and you leave with somebody,
Yeah.
how is that, um, inhibition kind of goes out the window in some of those situations. But you got to just do the best that you can, man. I think that for certain things, there isn't really an excuse when somebody says, "I don't want to do this." Like if they outright just say, "Hey, I don't want to do this," or "Hey, no, I don't want to do this." At that point, it's like the moment that they say, it's one thing to misread body language. I think it's another thing to be like, they say no, and you're like, "I'm done," right? So that's my thoughts on that.
It's just about respect
Absolutely,
for other people.
absolutely. Mhm. Um, yeah. Fuck it,
Dude,
dude.
I've got a musical related one that you just sparked.
Yeah.
This was last year. I couldn't tell you the exact month of the year. There's a band called Thy Art Is Murder.
Hmm.
They're an extraordinarily popular Australian deathcore band. Um, they had a vocalist, CJ McMahon, for many years. He infamously quit the band, said he couldn't afford it, couldn't do it anymore. Like 2 years later, he comes back and joins the band. But last year, they were set to have a new album come out. And within a very short period of time before their album dropped, it comes out. It didn't even come out. The motherfucker put it on Instagram, making comments to the effects of there was something about it was a post about like just like loving your child if they're trans or something of that. Like if your child is trans, they're still your child, love them, whatever. And he made a comment something to the effects of these parents should be burnt alive on Instagram.
Holy shit.
So this is the part you'll actually might enjoy. Almost instantaneously, like next day, 2 days later, the band is on their official forums. CJ's out. We don't condone this. He's out. We're done with him. Blah blah. But then the album comes out, and on the day of the album coming out, surprise to everybody, they had a different vocalist come in and retrack the whole album, and he's not on their new album.
Wow.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
they had a touring vocalist who was already knew all the songs and was used to doing them. Like if CJ, I think CJ might have been out for a period or was sick or something, I don't know, but he had done tours with them before and knew all the shit. So they called him in and like record it all, and then now he's in the band officially and they're touring again.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Damn. What a wild fucking ride, man. That's a story with a fucking happy ending.
yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, and now CJ McMahon is a real estate agent in Australia. If you're looking for a house, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Fuck that guy. Holy shit. Man, it is the momentum and the fucking flow of this is kind of insane because that leads me into the
Real estate.
final person in my list. Not real estate. God, I wish. No. Speaking of the trans community, this is the one that I was most disappointed in. I was most
Yeah.
this is the one that, because I'll tell you what, man, I came out of the closet in 2020, I believe. Right in the middle of 2020. I want to say 2020 or 2021.
For some reason, I want to say it was longer than that, but okay.
No, I had,
You would know better than I would.
yeah, it was right about, that was when I officially came out of the closet. That's when I like told everybody, I should say. Because it was around like 2019 that I had like started telling people and being more open about it.
So maybe that was when you told me, and I was just like, okay, go.
Yeah, because I told a lot of my friends before I told my family. And yeah, basically every one of my friends had the exact same reaction, which was, okay, we still love you. All right. Whatever.
Cool. You want to play Rocket League?
Yeah, exactly. That exact reaction. Every single person had that. They all asked me to play Rocket League. But since then, since coming out, I've had the chance and the privilege to grow closer with the queer community and to involve myself into, like I said, communities that are more prevalent for, LGBTQIA plus like groups and stuff like that. Surrounding myself with the Alphabet Mafia, right? Unfortunately, there was a prominent person within this group, especially within the trans community. I say within this group. They weren't affiliated with me at all. I don't know this fucking person, but they were within the the LGBT community, and they were a figurehead. The person I'm talking about, of course, is Kris Tyson, Kris Tyson. We're going to call her Kris Tyson from this point on. It's just easier to recognize her as Kris. Kris Tyson, over this past couple of days, has been getting canceled for a number of things, and it's a number of like pretty fucked up things. First and foremost, the one that I'll get out of the way is the 13-year-old that they were talking to. Yay! Now, I want to preface this by saying they weren't
We
trying
need
to
a jingle
fuck
that we can
this.
play. Do not
Right,
talk to
here we
kids.
go. No more kids that we're talking to. Back to the fundamentals of not talking to them at all. This person, they put a 13-year-old in charge of their Discord, right? And the conversations and interactions that they had with them were very clearly inappropriate. The jokes that were made. At one point, there was a joke about, don't worry, I just sent you some nudes. Fucking weird. I don't know why you would joke with a 13-year-old about that. This person being at the time 18, right?
Okay.
Or 18 and older, right? Probably older than that. Anyways, so going forward, that's just like the tip of the iceberg. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into that. I don't want to be so long-winded about each one of these situations. The other big thing that happened is that they supported a creator called Shadman. Now, Shadman is an extremely fucked up creator who drew lolly porn. Now, for those of you who are normal fucking human beings and don't know what lolly porn is, lolly
We're
porn
gonna
is
fuck you up here.
yes, lolly porn is drawn CP, and the thing about it is that it's one thing to draw a fictional child character. It's another thing to draw an interpretation of a real person and a real child, which is what this person did. It's what Shadman did. There is a creator named Keemstar. You may be familiar with Keemstar. I
Yep.
fucking hate Keemstar, regardless of my feelings towards him.
But he's always so nice to Boogie.
God, that's a whole. I forgot about fucking Boogie. Wow, it's amazing that you're my. There's been so much shit. We're not gonna talk about Boogie. Fuck Boogie.
Just move past it.
Just fuck Boogie. That's all you can say. That's all that needs to be said about Boogie. Keemstar, at the time, his daughter was 8 years old when Shadman drew her in this sort of explicit fashion. Fuck Shadman. Yes. I'll let that sink in.
What?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He, like, Shadman found I assume saw somehow a picture of
Keem's daughter, and then
daughter.
drew her doing an explicit act with none other than Donald Trump, from what I understand. I'm not going to say the act because it's fucking disgusting. There's no excuse for it. There's absolutely fucking no excuse for it.
Shit, how is he alive?
I don't know. The funny thing is and in my research, from what I understand during this, because this is someone I had never fucking heard of.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to inspire violence. That's something we just talked about. I'm not inciting violence. Just
there are some people who
in my mind as a parent, I'm immediately like, I will fucking strangle this person.
Yes. This is one of those things that I knew would kind of rile you up as a parent because it's fucking gross. There's no fucking world where that's
Being
okay.
Children makes it gross. You make it my child, and then
it's
very angry.
them's fighting words. Yeah. Fuck, man. This is why, man, this whole situation has been a hard one to dive into, because of just how fucking gross it is. So anyway, so
Chris
supported this person,
like
and at one point even bought their art. Now, the art is not of Keem's daughter, but
Just
there
some
there
of
was there was evidence of Kris interacting with the post because Shadman was openly posting the stuff on Twitter. And
How?
and I don't know if he was
Is it
posting on
because
Twitter.
it's drawn?
Well,
It's like,
he was linking to his website where he was posting it, basically.
how is his website allowed to be up?
I don't know. There's so the thing about it is with lolly stuff is that you're not allowed to. There's certain countries that have banned it outright, and there's other countries. America's not one of them that allow it. They allow for these drawings to be circulated, and I don't know all of the laws, but it's pretty easily accessible. I mean, there's so many people on Twitter. There have been so many people who have fought for it. There's a guy named Vosh, who has openly talked about he enjoys it and he, looks at it pretty regularly and has defended it.
No, that's the guy. He was streaming and accidentally showed his whole folder full of it. Yeah.
Yep. The horse guy. He's like, I want to be a horse and use my big horse thing. And yeah, what a fucking wild.
My big horse thing.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, what?
Yeah, this is, and it just keeps getting worse. So, Kris, again, had the 13-year-old in his Discord that he was messaging inappropriately. And they were messaging inappropriately on Snapchat. And a lot of it was very inappropriate jokes. A lot of it's shit that you just don't fucking say to a 13-year-old. It's one thing to be like, playing, you run, again, what we talked about earlier, where it's like you run into him in a video game and you fucking dunk on him. You're like, yeah, idiot kid, go to bed.
Dumbass.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's another thing to be in that 13-year-old's DMs saying, hey, fucking, one of the other ones was that,
warm.
yeah, just fucking,
I don't know.
just weird shit. I didn't read all the messages because at that point I was just like, I can't fucking deal with this anymore. And then again, supporting Shadman, just all of it was just fucking, it sucks, man. The main thing and why I'm so fucking disappointed is that Kris Tyson was a very prominent member of the trans community and someone who a lot of people fucking looked up to.
Because they're so in the public eye, being closely associated with Mr. Beast.
With Mr. Beast, exactly.
She was just Kris Tyson in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Then basically had a full transitionary period, like in front of everybody's eyes.
Exactly,
which
and
is not something you see.
Yeah, and was extremely proud of it. Was representing the community very well. I mean, she was on Twitter, fucking fighting for the trans community constantly. You know what I mean? And it was one of those things that it was good to see. I mean, it was like, holy fuck, that's good that every community that inspires some form of positivity is something to be admired, right? And that was what she was doing, is building a community with positivity that tried to make, it was, anyways. So that was one of the things that, like, when this all came out, the first video I watched was also someone who, it just felt like he was kind of just preying on her downfall, and the information was already hard enough to hear. But it doesn't help that they just fucking, misgendered her the whole time. Anyways, the one thing that I will say is that it doesn't matter that Kris is trans. That literally does not matter in this case, because the moment you start doing fucked up shit, fuck you. Okay. There's no place for that on the internet ever. Okay. The moment you start getting weird with kids, goodbye. We don't take a fucking hike, which is exactly what Kris did. So Kris has announced, she announced on Twitter, done with Mr. Beast. She's basically getting off of all of her social medias, and she's probably going to disappear. We probably won't see her ever again because of the disgusting shit that she did. And she kind of gave a pretty non-apology. She just kind of said, my actions have caused me to have to step away, and that's about it. I think she went a little bit further into it, and she may have said a couple other things, but for the most part, she just kind of didn't take accountability and moved on and dipped. Now, the one other thing that I wanted to talk about within this same sort of situation, obviously, Ava is a very good friend of Mr. Beast. Jimmy, who's Mr. Beast, has not said a fucking word. He hasn't said a single thing, and the only person that we've heard from his camp is an ex-employee. Now, this is a very, this is I don't know whether to believe this or not. As this guy named Dawson who basically worked for Mr. Beast for a couple months, I think, and was basically saying like this is just like the tip of the iceberg. Like, there's a lot more that could possibly come out. And in actuality, I feel like he is somewhat right in that sense that there could be more that comes out. It's one of those things that we'll have to wait and see. I don't want to take his fucking opinion at face value because again, he's just some fucking asshole who worked for Mr. Beast for 3-4 months. But still, it's just
Was that the dude that was on Reddit?
I don't know. I know he made a video.
I swear I just saw a Reddit post and somebody said I used to work for Mr. Beast and there's more.
So
I
maybe
might be mixing that up. It could be somebody that's not Mr. Beast related to somebody else. I don't want to spread misinformation, but
yeah, this is, I mean, fuck, man. So again, it's the same thing that we keep seeing over and over again where there's people in these powerful positions who just keep fucking just taking advantage of that position to get what the fuck they want. And what they want is always something real fucking dumb, like talking to kids. What is happening?
yeah. Dude, I wish I could explain it to you, man. Let's just be the change we want to see and never speak to another person under the age of 18 for the rest of my life.
Never talk to anybody. My little sister.
No communication with any human is the only way to stay out of trouble.
We gotta just shut everyone out of your life. Go completely no contact. Throw your phone away right now.
And then bring it out back on Saturday to check out the new episode when it drops.
Hell yeah!
Make sure to like and subscribe, and then throw your phone back in the woods.
And then
2 weeks later,
come back. You got a deep dive.
And we'll let you know about what all you missed since you didn't have your phone for 2 weeks.
That's right. Anyways, I'm done fucking talking about horrible shit. It has been a fucking rough week to watch the
a little bit heavy. I don't want to quite end it here, man.
We're not. I don't. Yeah, no. I think we're gonna go a little longer.
What you been playing?
I do have a little bit of lighthearted stuff. I've been playing the same shit. I got back into Destiny.
Oh yeah, how's that?
It's Destiny.
I have a news update for you.
They
rolled back the change on the Apex Battle Pass.
Good.
So you will now be able to buy it. You will now be able to buy it with Apex coins instead of just cash.
Yeah.
But there will still be two passes.
Which, here's the thing. I think that the two battle pass, the split battle pass thing, it is what it is, man. But them bringing back the coins was the smartest thing they could have done. They were going to ruin their fucking game, man. They were absolutely going to ruin the game by making a move like that.
There was someone in the finance department doing the math on like if we keep the prices raised but make less sales versus if we give the people the coin back, we'll make them more money.
A shitload of money.
And then we eat the pie.
This is why community is so important. Community is so important. The exact same thing happened in Helldivers when PlayStation tried to do their whole you got to make a PSN account and dude, the community came together like no other. The exact same thing happened with the Apex community. They came together like no other and said, fuck you, give it back. Turn back the clock because you're fucking up, And that's good to hear. That's some, there's some
a few
good
times
in the
now.
world.
We need it more.
We do.
Less of these corporate games. That's the new term I keep seeing thrown around that I really like.
Corporate
games that are just a attempt at being a money printing machine.
Yeah.
With no fucking soul to them.
Yeah. And it sucks, man, because you have passionate developers and you have people who want to make these great games. And, the money pressures, the corporate pressures, you got people going, hey, listen, this is the day it's got to come out. We saw it with No Man's Sky. We saw it with Cyberpunk, where you're over-promising and under-delivering and your fan base fucking eats you alive. But, for a couple of those games, there's redemption arcs. You have... the two games that I just mentioned, No Man's Sky, Siege. Dude, No Man's Sky just came out with their 5.0 update. Huge fucking reworks to the worlds. We saw Cyberpunk, fucking the beauty that came out with that and how amazing that the fucking DLC was.
The lesson to learn from that is that if you put out a bad video game and you want to turn it around, put Idris Elba in it.
Yes! Dude, Idris Elba will fix every problem that you have in your game. We promise. That's a guarantee.
Right.
That man is fucking
I
incredible.
want Idris Elba in Destiny. I'd play it.
Well, we have Keith David. So when Lance Reddick died, rest in peace, we love Lance Reddick. When he died, Keith David took over, the Arbiter, for those of you who don't know.
Oh, no shit?
No shit. He's playing Zavala, the character that Lance voiced.
That's
and
cool.
he does a fucking killer job. Oh, it's so killer. And it's so crazy because, like, Arbiter? What the fuck? What are you doing here, bud? You came back to Bungie? That's so crazy. It's a beautiful thing to see, man. And he does a fantastic job. God, but yeah, I mean, that's really, I mean, I've been playing the same sort of shit. I doubt, you know what, I've been playing the game that I thought that I would never, ever, ever, ever in my life play, which is Fortnite.
I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
And you told me about it. You told me you were on like a hot dub streak. Couldn't be
Dude,
defeated.
we won like 3 in a row. Now, mind you, more than likely we won against bots because we were playing last night. We won the first game that we played and then just got our asses kicked the rest of the night, you know, and the people that play that game, dude, their reaction times and their movement, I mean, clearly they've been playing for a while, but fuck, man, like there were people fucking zooming past me and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Am I playing Doom? Like, what is going on?
Have you seen the kids these days cranking 90s on Fortnite?
Dude, and they're like fucking, you know,
My son had
2
to
feet
explain
away
to
from
me.
the fucking...
I hear him like in the other room playing Fortnite. I just keep hearing, I'm cranking 90s. Oh, he's cranking 90s. And I'm like, what the fuck is my son doing? He had to explain it to me. It's building the building quickly.
Yeah. Which is nuts to me. We play no build. I think the group that I play with, we're all too fucking old to play, you know, the regular build.
When I played a couple games with my son recently, just kind of like hang out with him, we played no build and I got pooed upon. It was fun, man. Made him happy. That's what it's all about.
Hell
it's
yeah.
just something about the whole movement, jumping, aiming.
Yeah.
Fortnite has just always just felt a little off to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like a lot of these newer Unreal Engine 5 games that are coming, they feel exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, very fast paced, very much not very friendly to the old. You know, I go back to the General Sam video of you know, I feel like I got like 1 or 2 more years before I just, you know, permanently switch to Mill Sims. You know, and that's where I'll be, baby. I'll be, you know. I'll be the commander in the back, just barking orders.
Going
I
back
don't
to
know
Arma?
what the fuck else. Yeah. Oh man.
Join one of those platoons, and it's like every third Saturday of the month we play Arma for 8 hours.
Exactly. Fuck. Cause
I might be down with that with you, man. Let's go.
At that point, it's like, man, like there's no. I mean, you know, even and I've played a shitload of Overwatch. I used to. I now play about once a week, if that. And when I play, man, some of the people that I go up against, because I used to be good. I used to be really fucking good. I've been playing the game for, you know, 5-6 years, you know, since about a month after launch is when I ended up buying the game. And I've played on and off since then. I have well over 2,000 hours in the game. I know every fucking hero. I know every ult. I know that game. And even still, with all my game sense, there are people who are just out mechanicking me. And I'm like, I know it's some fucking 12-year-old, you know, juiced up on Mountain Dew. And he's got TikTok on the side. He's scrolling while he's fucking destroying my ass.
He's
man.
literally playing what's the Fruit Ninja?
Yeah, dude, he's
game
doing
on
Fruit
one
Ninja.
hand
He's
and
doing
just
Fruit
shitting
Ninja,
on you with his other hand.
TikTok, and then he's
while
kicking
watching
my
Subway
ass.
Surfers in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh god, the fucking brain rot. Oh man, it's, you know, it's a whole other world out there, man. One of the other things I wanted to talk about, speaking of Subway Surfers and kind of like brain rot, TikTok shit, there's been this weird meta, and it's kind of died off now, but I wanted to talk about it and get your opinion on it. There was a weird meta that was around where people were playing. Did you ever play backyard baseball?
Yes.
Dude, there was a huge resurgence on TikTok, especially, of backyard baseball players. I don't know what it was, and I don't know.
Can I play backyard baseball?
Yeah, you can play. Yeah. I want to say it might be on Steam. But dude,
Fuck yeah.
People were playing the shit out of backyard baseball, and it was one of those things where I was like, I saw it the first time, I was like, oh, this is so crazy, like such a nostalgia trip. I love backyard baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw it again, And then I saw it again. And I mean, it was different people playing it every time. And there were people who were like making their whole page about playing backyard baseball and their stream clips of them playing backyard baseball and like getting super into backyard baseball. And I don't understand it. I don't get, like, don't get me wrong, the game is great. Like, just watching them play, I'm like, I remember this. And I remember it being this good. But
Are these people younger by chance?
From what I've seen, they're like in their like 20s. It looks like, I mean, they could be younger or older. I don't know. It
Sounds like it's just a trend, man. Somebody started it, somebody else thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And then it just flows from there. I mean, it's just like any other trend we have.
Yeah.
Like Haktua a couple weeks ago, fucking surged like fire through the world and then was gone.
That girl gained like, what was it, like 2 million followers on Instagram over like a 2-week period or some crazy shit. Like,
if she is intelligent, she can ride the rest of her life and not have to work a real job.
There was a thing that I saw the other day where it was like she got paid $30,000, I think, to show up at an event, literally just to show up, and that was
just to show up and be the Haktua girl.
Yeah, which is crazy to me. That
we should get her on the show.
How?
She could
get 30 grand?
Guest. No, but I've referenced her before, so I bet if I share that old clip, she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I mean, I saw that. Like, I like you guys."
I mean, it is in our outro. So.
Oh yeah. I really. I mean, what is it? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. That's why we do this. The end of every episode. For you, my dear sweet Haktua girl.
Please come on to our podcast. We know that you know nothing about us, but please.
We know nothing about you. It's the perfect combination.
God. The other one, the other game that the current meta, started by Queso, who we talked about a couple weeks ago. He was a friend of Sketch. The other one is it's a Roblox game called Dress to Impress. And can I just say, what the fuck is with so many adults playing Roblox?
It's because Roblox is it has the tools within it that it can be any game you want.
Yeah.
There is a Tarkov, a Roblox version of Tarkov. There's a Roblox version of Battlefield. There's a Roblox.
Yeah, there was was it BattleBit? Was that?
Yeah, so BattleBit is something that's actually a fun game itself. That's its own thing. But there is literally a mode within Roblox that is just Battlefield.
It's just,
and there's my son loves to just get on there and like set up random shit and just blow it up. Like it's almost like a Minecraft. Like,
I've never understood. But so one of the games that Queso kind of started the next trend on was Dress to Impress, which is one of the game modes within Roblox. That's very I mean, it's very interesting to watch because it's like, how the fuck do you make a Roblox game? Like literally the whole concept is that you're given a theme, and then there's people in a lobby, and then you dress your character up within that theme, and then you do a runway walk, and then people will vote on you. They'll give you stars, and whoever has the most stars at the end of the round wins. Like,
so it's Cards Against Humanity with fashion show.
Exactly. And it's Roblox fashion, so it's fully Roblox, you know, like the bodies are the blocky, like with their like dresses. But it's just so weird, man. What the fuck is going on?
You know what? That person, Queso, he's not talking to kids, is he?
No.
Let him live his life, man. Roblox makes him happy, dude. You do you. If Dress to Impress is fun, man, rock it.
I'll send you a clip after. He is really funny with it too. It's funny how into it he gets, because he's all about, dude, we're slaying this outfit. This is so slay, and it's so funny. It really warms my heart. Again, the trifecta that I really am enjoying now. Fucking knock on wood that they don't fucking, you know. Sketch already had his outing and all of his controversy and whatever,
it wasn't
but it
even
was
a controversy.
But even that, if that's the worst that he's done, fuck, the guy can't lose. Hopefully, I mean, you know, who knows what's gonna happen. But him, Jinxie, and Queso are the trifecta right now that I like a lot of the content that they're putting out. And it's good to see, man. It's pretty wholesome. Again, like I said, he's having a lot of fun with it. It's just very odd. I think I'm getting fucking old.
Are you now?
Yeah. I think that I am. I don't know, man. There's certain
feeling
aspects.
The weather in your knees.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. There's certain things that about the current society that I don't really understand. And maybe I'm not meant to, I think clearly the next generation is kind of taking the reins, and that's fine. Let them. Yeah, I said earlier that it's a much different time. It's a much different era. It's a much different age. And where we were 5 years ago is different than where we were 10 years ago. And it's different than where we were 15 years ago. And 5 years from now, we're going to be in a completely different place. And it's only changing quicker and quicker. Yeah. And I don't know. It's just a very odd feeling. And sorry, I fucking yapped the whole goddamn podcast. I feel like I haven't let you get a word in. Jesus.
Oh, is it my turn to talk? Man, finally. No, man, I think what I would like to say, and this might be a good spot to end it on, is just think about what you put out into the world and try to make it a better place. That's Jeff Kanata. That's a quote from him that I always enjoy.
There you go. Yeah. I
yab it up.
agree with that. All right. Yeah, we would love to just keep going. But
Oh, wait. How about them Cowboys?
you just had to it was such a nice moment. It was such a nice moment. You had to fucking just shit all over it. It was such a nice, wholesome moment. And you're so happy about it too. It upsets me. You were like, oh, let me just give this beautiful quote and like, I'll let you, wrap it up. Then you just had to shit all over that beautiful moment, didn't you? Are you happy?
Couldn't be happier.
God damn it. I want to
Listen, the thing about being a Cowboys fan is I have to enjoy,
Here we go.
like,
No, go
like
ahead,
at the
go
start of
ahead.
the season, it's going to be hot, it's going to be fun, it's going to be cool. Maybe they'll do good, maybe they won't. And then they're going to make it to that first playoff game and shit the bed. That's what they do. And we enjoy the ride every year, all right? That's all I have to say. I do.
Yeah?
And then right at the end, when they shit the bed, I'm like, fuck this team, I'm never watching them again. And then I need like a month to cool off. It's like a toxic relationship, really.
What were you saying earlier about what do the Cowboy fans say?
No.
What do they say? Go ahead,
won't
tell
say
me.
it. Nope.
Go ahead, tell me.
You say, how about them Cowboys?
No. What's the other thing that they say?
We them boys.
What's the other thing that they say?
I won't say it. I'm not going to be
Say
caught
it.
recorded on camera saying these words. I can't. Won't do it. I'm not a fool. I'm not that fool of a Cowboys fan. I know what the Cowboys are and I know what they're going to do, but I just love them.
Oh,
They're my team.
That's one thing. I mean,
Actually, you know what? You're right. This is our year.
Ah, okay, here we go. Damn it. Son of a bitch. I want to, and I feel like we probably could at some point go longer than what we do now, but I think we're not going to do that today. And instead of spending more time with y'all, I think that was time well meant. I have been dialed in to this drama.
Haktua.